Good morning, how are you doing today? So I've been trying to take it a bit easy the past couple of weeks. I'm trying to recover and rest up a little. But I have been itching to draw, except I couldn't really think of what to draw. Then I had an idea. I wanted to draw something that helps me relax, like this, the Lofi girl. If you've never seen her or heard this playlist before, man, you've been missing out. It's a 24/7 YouTube stream that plays chill hop and lo-fi beats. So that's what we're painting today. I'll also be giving away the finished painting to a random winner, so make sure you listen out until the end for the details. But before we get started with painting, a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you're in need of a website, a portfolio or a shop front, Squarespace has got everything you need all in one place. Okie dokie, so I've just finished up doing the line work and I think it looks pretty good. The line work did take a lot longer than I expected because there were so many elements to it, like the bookshelves, plants, stationery, and with the line work all finished, next up I've just got to tape her down and then start painting. So let's go. At first, working on this painting made me realise how rusty I was because I hadn't touched my paint for 2 months. And at first it did feel pretty weird, so it was like, no. But once I got the hang of it again, it was like, yay. Here I was mixing whatever leftover dried red and yellow paints I still had left on my palette for the skin, which I think was cadmium red and raw sienna. I've always liked working with multiple transparent layers, building from the flat tones to full rendered skin by adding glazes. I gradually build areas of skin with those redder tones like the nose and the cheeks by adding light red glazes. After those colour transitions are in place, then I can start building the shadows. That's the general painting workflow for me. Flats followed by gradual layers to build the shadows. And you can see me doing that right here with the scarf and her jumper. Now, I feel like this would be a good place to give you guys a little bit of an update of where I am and what's been happening recently. I'm actually currently in Amsterdam, and I'm living here with my best friend Q at her place for a while. Basically, I needed a bit of a break, physically and mentally, because the past few months have been damn crazy. The first half of 2019 was spent working away on my new body of work for my solo exhibition, Breathe. This was a pretty big deal for me, which I shared a lot about on my Instagram. I remember walking through the doors of the gallery as the show just opened to a room absolutely packed with people. Seeing that many people freaked me out, and I remember clinging to my friend Kylie, begging her to get me out of there. Luckily, she didn't let me escape, because I ended up having the best time. I spent the night meeting and talking to all the people who came out to see the show, including friends, fans, family, and my mum. Yeah, that was an awesome night. So yeah, with the show coming to an end, I decided to take a bit of a break, come out to Amsterdam and spend time with my pal Q and her dog Coda, who's about to give me a helping hand right about now. I think at this point, I was starting to regret this painting. All I wanted was to do a quick, fun little painting. A quick little sketch, that's all I wanted. But after I realised how many little objects there were in this piece, oops. Alright, so I've just finished up doing the flats. The painting looks pretty cool so far. Most of the flats are done in. I did go ahead and finish the fabric and the scarf, but there is one thing that I'm trying to figure out still, and it's the window. So I'm trying to go for this scene, which is the night scene, and that's going to be a bit tricky to paint in with this because there's a lot of irregular shapes, and so painting black around those might be a bit tricky. So I'm thinking I might have to actually mask all of these areas off and do a wash, a black wash. I'm gonna give the window a go and hopefully it turns out well. Back to work, let's go! With the masking fluid applied and dried, it was wash time. Now, washes can be super tricky to get a clean gradient. This one in particular was quite hard and took a few layers to get right because the paper kept buckling, and so the dark paint kept sitting in the middle. The one thing I hate the most about washes though is the drying time. But haha, this is why I've got a hairdryer. It takes a long to dry.
Put it in the dryer.
Put it in the dryer?
Yeah.
Peeling masking fluid and tape is probably the most satisfying but also terrifying part of any painting. I am always terrified of it ripping the paper, but when it works, oh yeah! The night sky actually came out quite nicely. So now all I have to do is work in the rest of the values and add the shadows and tie it all together. Hopefully I'll finish this today. Okie dokie, so back to work. Now I have to tell you guys about the most important moment from my Breathe exhibition, which was when my mum finally saw the show. To put it simply, my mum has never seen what I do. She still doesn't use or fully understand social media, so she still doesn't really know what kelogsloops is. And I think it's even weirder to trying to explain to her what followers are, because translating that into Vietnamese implies that I literally have a million stalkers. She does know that I paint and somehow make a living doing it now, but she's always been concerned about my future because she doesn't get it. Honestly, I've wanted nothing more than to be able to put my mum's concerns to rest and to make her not worry about me anymore and about my future. That's why this show was so important to me. It was my chance to say to my mum, "Hey mum, this is what I do. You don't have to worry about me anymore. I will be okay." And I think I did just that. She saw how excited everyone was at the opening night, with the room packed full of people eager to see the paintings, or to talk to me, or to take a picture with me. Then, people even came up to her and said hi to her. Someone even thanked her for giving birth to me. I really do think that her being able to see it all made her proud, and I hope it was enough to put her mind at ease. On top of that, all of my aunties, uncles and cousins came, and they all saw the excitement as well. Coming from a Vietnamese family, there's nothing more rewarding to our parents than hearing their own brothers and sisters tell them how proud they were of us kids. So yeah, the Breathe exhibition went really well and life's great again. Around this point, I realised I needed to darken the scene overall to achieve the lighting effect from the lamp. Everything was too soft and the values were too similar, and so I went over parts of the painting with a dark glaze. This also helped bring the painting to life by adding some contrast. After the darkening glazes, I let the painting dry for a few hours. By then it was dark, so I spent the rest of the night working on the painting. Good morning, it is the next day. I actually stayed up all night working on the painting, but I'll show you guys how it looks. So last night I went in and added the details for the bookshelf and all the books, but by bringing those values down and making them a bit darker, we lost a lot of colour. So I'm going to go in and glaze some of the colours and bring some colour back to life. And after that, I'm going to go and add the highlights, add the gold, and we're done. And of course, the painting wouldn't be finished without a little bit of gold. I wanted to add these floating goldfish around her to depict the thoughts that fill your mind when you listen to music. See, I've always imagined that if we could picture our mind and what goes on in it, it would look something like a river. And so the thoughts that occupy our mind, or the river, would be things like fish. Now, just before we wrap up the video, I just want to thank Squarespace again for sponsoring this video. It's a perfect platform for creating any kind of website from scratch, from online portfolios, blogs to web shop fronts. If you'd like to try designing your own site, head on over to www.squarespace.com/kelogsloops and you can get a free 14-day trial and 10% discount code from your first purchase. There's tons and tons of design templates and features for you to work with. And the best part? It's ridiculously easy to use. Even an idiot like me somehow managed to make a decent looking website in just a few hours. Though I absolutely love how this painting turned out, I'm going to give away this painting to one of you guys. Just comment down below one of your favourite songs to relax to. I'll pick out a random winner and announce them in the comment section. And so that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you guys are having an awesome day, make more art, and I'll see you guys soon.